there any specific examples of the list you just gave that really make an impression on you when you're thinking that I need to take out some of the bad guys today? Like, are there any that speak to you?
Two that break my heart is the 19 dead aliens in the back of a tractor trailer. Mm-hmm. When I arrived on that crime scene, immediately when I got to the back of the tractor trailer, several bodies were already on the ground. When the doors finally opened, people rushed out to get air, and some of the dead bodies that were fighting for a small hole where the brake light used to be to breathe were pushed out. But I stood in the back of the trailer and looked back in there. I saw a little boy in his underwear. He later turned out to be 5 years old, dead. With who else later found out was his father was cradling him on top of him. Most of them, if not all of them, I remember, were under underwear because they're trying to get some relief from the searing heat in that steel box. So I sat there and I looked and I'm thinking, okay, these people are in a steel box, 170 degrees or higher, black, couldn't see, hand in front of your face, no air, no water, no food. They baked to death. And I stood there looking at that, and I looked at that little boy, and I had a little boy the same age.
I do too. I can barely.
And I remember when I looked at that little boy, true story, he had the same underwear on that mine did. So before I can process the scene, a lot of things go through my head. Why did he have to die this way?
Yes.
Why did anyone have to die this way? Because we had the secure border, it wouldn't happen. And when you talk to the survivors, do the investigation, I was on the ground there for weeks. When you hear the stories, how that little boy begged his father, he didn't want to die. Any 5-year-old's got to beg his father not to die because he wanted to see his mom again. He wanted to see his sisters again. So a lot of people say, okay, there's 19 dead aliens. What a terrible way to die. No, dig into it a little bit more. How they fought for their life. How a 5-year-old begged his dad. A 5-year-old knew he was dying and asked his dad to save him. And what's his dad going to do? They're in a locked steel box. His dad, the reason he was there. So think what the father's going through to watch his child die in his arms, then later die on him. That changed me forever. And the time I actually talked to a little girl, she's about 9 years old, when made that journey through the cartels, were raped multiple times by members of the cartel. Now that little girl, her life will never be the same. Everything innocent and pure was ripped from her. So that's why I fight hard.